Okie dokie. Let's see if the tablet cranks up for me today. Usually about this time of night I have a pre-recorded video, but I think I might break away from doing those every week. I got something else kind of cooking, but we'll see. And as I see right now, now it wants to act right. I tell you, this thing's jealous. Jealous and very touchy. So give me a second, let this thing do what it's doing. Hey, how you doing? Jen, I see you. It's good to see you. Yeah, we had a nice little thunderstorm come through here about 20 minutes ago or so. See if I can turn this to the side. Yeah, I can. A little awkward, but it works. All right. Okay. Well, I'll start. Hey, Johnny. How are you? As you can see, there's a bunch of R's stand for rocks. It'd be 3 waterfalls, 1, 2, and 3. I think I'll put a grouping of trees here and no rocks. Maybe a couple of rocks down here. And probably some grass here. I don't know, something like that. But we'll just have a little fun. Not really a teaching thing, it's just me having a little fun, that's all. All right, let's get on to this festivities. This is a 16 by 20 inch canvas panel today. So, didn't really feel like cutting up any board. So, we'll put on the good old glycerin. I'm only put the glycerin in a certain spots. I'm not gonna really put it down below, maybe for the water a little later on. But other than that, just up here, up on top really. So I can play around with the sky and the clouds. There we go, just slap it up here. The glycerin is like brand new. Had to pour a batch in. So, okay, let's deal with a little bit of titanium white. Oh, we'll slap the white up around in this area in here like this. Something like that. We'll get a little yellow. We'll put the yellow on top of that, especially particularly here in the center. We'll put some up here, up around in this area. Yeah, maybe some up here around in there. We're gonna get some yellow ochre. We'll slap some of that ochre in between here, like that, up in here. Yeah, Why not? Like that. Then we're gonna get, we'll clean off the brush for a second. We'll tap into a little bit of orange. Orange is kind of semi-transparent. We'll play around. All these colors obviously are closely related to each other. Orange is kind of a tricky little fellow. Let's kind of place up around in here like that. And we're going to blend all of that in. That's why we use the glycerin. Lemonade out of lemons, yes. All right, let's see what we got here. I'll start with the lightest color. We'll start with yellow. We'll bring the yellow down. I'll just play with the yellow first. And we'll start blending our way into that yellow, ochre, and orange. We'll just start going this way with it. Three hairs and some air, really. Very light blend. You want to blend it in. There's no streaks or anything special like that happening. Okay. And if I don't like some of the blend, I can deepen it or what have you. All depends. We'll see where it all goes right now. I can always press down a little bit if I wanted to move around a little more than what it's doing. So that's no big deal. But I'll just keep blending. If I want something a little stronger, I'll put it in there stronger. But as of right now, we seem to be okay. I am going to brighten up that center a little bit. So we'll take a little bit of white, slap it right here. A little bit of that yellow. We'll put it in. We'll mix it in. I'll do it right here. Kind of brighten that up a little bit. We'll touch of white and we'll kind of pop it in. Right up in here. Kind of stir it in like that. Nice little spot of brightness in there. Keep playing around with it. I think I'll dip into a little ochre. It's in that ochre bag. I'll just kind of throw it up in there like so. Wider strokes, blend it out. Kind of build up that brightness over there a little bit more in here. It will all just mix in, contaminate the white with the orange and yellow. Just like that. Okay. I'm looking. I really don't want to put much red in there, to be honest with you. I could shadow it with a little red, but I don't know. it would be like toward the top here if I really wanted to put the red in there. I could sneak in some very light blue though. I think I'll sneak in some blue. I'll do that. The blue will be very minimal. You will be able to see it in the painting. But I kind of want kind of a bright sky today. So I guess I'll dip a little bit of blue in here. It's actually ultramarine blue. I'm gonna need blue anyway. So it's a little bit. I'll scumble a little bit of it in there. Let's go with some white. We'll put it right here. A slight touch of blue. We'll put the blue in there and the white. We'll contaminate it a little bit. That's good enough. And we'll just kind of scumble some in there. Yeah, we'll just kind of play around in here with it. Maybe a touch in here. We'll kind of blend that in a wee bit. We'll come over here and get some tight little circles going on. Just kind of lightly blend that in there. Just for some little bit of just a little difference in tone. Just lighten up the edges a little bit. Don't necessarily got to be real streaky. Doesn't have to be real powerful. You don't have to think about paint it down below the where you intend. Just, I do want to smooth out the edges, round them off a little bit. We need to smooth out those edges there. I'm checking it out, I'm looking. Make sure it's okay. I won't have to put too many of those in there. Take a little bit of white, we'll mix it in with that blue a little bit. No medium, just a paint, just plain medium here. So I really don't need too much of the medium anywhere else. I'll kind of shape up some cute little cloudsy things in here. Something like that. And we'll kind of fade out the top part there, blend it into the sky a little. Something like that. Go into our whitish blue mix here. Let's get a couple more. Let's pop in one of them guys right in here like this. My brush and kind of, once again, just fade out the top. Fade it right into the orange and yellow. whatnot. Get a little more white, the tiniest touch of blue in there, contaminate the white a little bit. Put some of them in here like this, up in here. Little streaks in here. Little things. It's the little things. It's the little things. Come up here like that. And then kind of string it out there like this. Same thing here. Wipe off my brush a little bit. And kind of put one right up in here too. Get some more of that whitish blue mix. It's almost some happiness way up in here like that. Soften that. Bring it on up here. Clean this off real quick here. It's the softy brush here, another one, and kind of overall soften things up, blend them a little bit. The glycerin is starting to tag up, it's fine, so but you can kind of soften things. Real soft brush that's doing this, so I can press a little bit. Okay. We'll take a script liner, some water. Get some titanium white, nice chunk of it. And we'll put some nice bright silver linings in there a little bit. Like that. Gotta be fairly bright. Gentle dance between the white and the water. Load the brush up pretty good. Some of the linings are a little thicker than others, kind of emphasize. Kind of create some more in there like that. Up here, we'll start one up around here like this, up around. Really kind of, I'll create one in here, so I'll create another one out here. Make sure you get enough paint on your tiny little thin brush. something back here. Some of that might be hidden, so it won't matter. Okay, dokie. Whatever I don't need can really just be scraped off and go away. One of the good things about a glass palette, scrape it out of there. Okay. Let's keep my brushes away from the paint so they don't get slaughtered with paint here. That's one of the things here. Let's put them back here. And color into the paint. Let's color in the falls. I'm just picking a brush. I'll use the filbert here. Go back into our titanium white. We'll put it right here. Get a touch of blue. Slap some orange in there. The color opposite. It turns it kind of grayish. I'm gonna need a little more than this, but it's okay right now. A little deeper blue. There we go. See, that orange is neutralizing it, turning it kind of gray. I don't necessarily want the glycerin in this. But as you can see, it turns into blue-gray. Something to color the water. And we'll just scumble that water in there for right now. Pop it right in there. Why am I painting the water this color? Well, even the water needs a little bit of body to it. And you're just kind of blocking things in here. Okay. It's good that you put the water in if it's a waterfall. Put them in first before you slap the rocks in there. A lot of stuff that you put down is usually kind of a guide. Yeah, we got one here. Just block it in. Just like that. Okay. Let's get a little bit of yellow. We'll put the yellow right in here. A little bit of this blue, we'll put it in there. This nice green blue. Touch of glycerin. We'll put it right in there with the paint. We'll build our water off this green. Why not? Doesn't make any sense now, but it will later. Like I say, you might not even see all of this. Who knows? Let's get a little blue. We'll pop it in there. Mix it in with the green. A little glycerin here. There's no glycerin or anything down here. It's pretty completely dry, so the glycerin is in the paint. Okay. Mix it right in there. Mix it in with the green. It's all right. Little method to my madness. And we're just blocking color. So it's actually, I'm just scumbling, it's wet on dry. This is all just base color. We'll build off of this stuff a little later. Block it all in there. Different techniques give you a different result. All right. Yep, a little glycerin in this too. I'm just, like I say, just blocking things in. Mix it right in there. Mix it on top of the green, in the green. Blend it all in there. The glycerin activates the paint you've already put down, so it's easier to kind of scumble and blend it and fade it in there, here and there. Not much white. I'm gonna have to dig out some more white soon. Just pure titanium white because I know it's going to blend in with the rest of the stuff, but you got a lot of frothiness and all sorts of stuff going to be acting up over here. A lot of turbulence is going to go on over there. Guys are mighty quiet. No one's talking. Talk to me. Yeah. Okay. I can pretty much use the same brush. Let's get into this black. Foundation for the rocks. I'll dip a little bit of blue in the black. Not really the biggest proponent of using black, but in some instances, you know, you're gonna have to. Once again, there's no glycerin on this. Okay. None whatsoever. Not on this part of it. So my paint's gonna have to be a little thicker so I can get the rocky outcrop. I'm gonna have a nice solid rocky line there. It's okay. It's more the outline than anything else that I'm really concerned about. Give me a nice sharp. Now, painting the rocks on the opposite side here of the falls, where the water's kind of, when it flows over, it's going to mist over and everything, so it's okay. It's not exactly perfect here. Same thing for the bottom here. The bottom is going to get kind of churned up and whatnot. Get a little more black. Get a little touch of blue. Put the blue in the black. Does it make a difference? Actually, yes, it does. Like I said, I'm not really adding any water or anything to this. I want this pretty solid and I want it pretty dry, which is why I'm not adding any glycerin to the rocks or to the paint itself. You can, now I work with heavy body acrylic paint, so I can actually add some water to this and get it going. It just makes it move around a little more. But I just need only the tiniest bit of water to do that. I don't want to thin the paint too much. It will still dry in the same amount of time. Little touch of paint, black paint. Little touch of blue, slap the blue in there. I'll add a little bit of water to it just to thin the paint just a little bit. Okay. We got 2 more rocks to do here. The rocks are higher than the waterfall. They got to be. Or the water spills over, you know? And that's just bad mojo. You don't want a bunch of water spilling over. It doesn't matter down here. It's going to be blended in anyway, so don't fret about that. You just got a giant rock in between 2 waterfalls. Just like that, and then you fill the rest in. Once again, there's no glycerin here, it's just water and paint. I got the fan blowing on the board, which is in turn blowing on me. As it's doing so, it's drying. Just gathering up my paint here. Really put it on the brush, pop it in there. A little more black, a little more blue is needed. Slap it in there. A little touch of water. Okie dokie, much like that. That's all right. That's just the foundation of the rocks. Okay, dokie. Let's get a little bit of water. I'm just gonna dip into my blue. What's left of my blue. I'll throw a little black in there. And we'll kinda really darken up down here. So I'm starting to build up the water a little bit. A little bit of black. More blue than black. And the shapes I'm doing on purpose, it is darker down below. A little blue, got a little glycerin in the blue, a little stripe of black. So I'm just slowly building things up in here. Kind of messing with the I'll call it at odd angles up here. Put some shadows in there. When you put shadows underneath some of that water, you instantly make waves without even thinking about it, really. You come in here, add a little shadow in here, a little cusp of shadow in there. He's just starting to kind of build things there that you really didn't think you'd see. But they're in there. I don't really have to add too much shadow in the frothy area. Kind of keep all of that busyness down here. Okay, that's enough of that. I do want to plant a rock in here. So let's get a little bit of black. Go back into our blue here. Very simple color palette. Mix that blue into the black, just like this. This is a 3/4 inch brush, a little bit larger than a half inch brush. like that. Just block it right in. I'll debate whether I want 2 rocks or 1. So we'll kind of put him up here. Like that. Once again, this is wet on dry. And I'm just blocking in the rock here. Getting a little water, just loosening up the residual paint that's starting to dry. Put it right in there. Just like that. Just like that. All right. Okay. All right. I know what I think. Like I said, I'm gonna put the interesting trees and whatnot in there. Anything else that I want to add will be afterward. All right. Using the side of the brush. Going the downward motion. This is just sky blue mixed on top of what you see there. Titanium white, just a slight dab of the blue. Side of the brush. Like so. If you notice the pattern, the lines that I'm creating doing these strokes, what's happening here? No, it still says I'm doing it. Still says I'm here. So I don't know what's going on there. It's not my connection. I'll keep it moving because I know that I'm okay. My server timed out, but it timed out on the tablet, so I'm not really too much worried about that, because as I see on my webcaster, I'm still up and running. We're 45 minutes in. So I'm not too much worried about that. My phone seems to be doing quite okay. Not my tablet. So let's see something here. Let's turn my phone back around. Let's see what I got here. Says I'm still alive. Yeah, since I'm still here. So I don't know what's going on with my large tablet, which is okay. All right, let's work on the rocks. I can pretty much scrape some of this up. I won't need this. There's pretty neat advantages for to having a glass palette. Like I say, whatever you don't need, scrape it up, get rid of it. It's okay. All right. I do appreciate that, but why aren't you, you know, showing me my chat here? There we go. All right, let's get our rock highlights going here. I'll dip into a little bit of blue. We'll put it right in here. A little more blue than that. Top it off with a little bit of black. We'll mix that in there right now. Scrape up that orange, and then we're going to add a little white to that. So it's going to be a weird greeny black mix. Now it's got this funky green happening here. But if you add some titanium white to it, stir it around, stir it around, stir it around. All right. It'll start to turn this green gray. Which is fine. There. Bunch it up here. Actually, I need a bigger palette knife. This one here is too small. Let's gather all that up real good. Put it right there. We'll change the color of this. We'll lighten it up. Get a bit of ochre, a little bit of white. Mix that joy red in there together. There, the ochre and white grays it out more, as you can see. Gather it up together. Make a nice little mound of it. Okay. Yeah, when I'm usually done, I'm done. So I try to mix just enough. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. There's texture as I'm doing this. Different palette knives, you can see the texture down. Yeah, you can see the texture down there. And you can see the texture there. This is more or less omnidirectional. Okay, but like I said, I'm just gonna get interesting rock patterns and whatnot. And basically it's just me tapping and giving a slight pull. Okay. So it's just you tap and give a slight pull there. Just like that. And get some more. And you continue on, do the same thing. Build up where you want your highlights to be. You can kind of curve it around. You need plenty of paint for this type of technique to have it work for you. Come up around in here and give it a little curve. You just tap and a slight pull. Just tapping around. Now different patches of paint on different areas of your brush. And still continuing the tapping motion. How much of that you want on there. Hello Shane, how are you? Not really a teaching class, but sometimes it ends up being one. Hope everything's okay. Once again, it's just me tapping. It's a tap and a slight pull. I'm scraping some of it off. So I'm borrowing a little bit to bring elsewhere. Get all sorts of interesting little patterns going on. Make sure your knife is pretty flat to the surface. And what I'm doing is omnidirectional. I can kind of put them wherever I want them. The interesting pockets of black will help you flesh out your rocks, depending on how strong you want them. Oh, I'm still living the dream, Shane. I'm still living the dream. Still living the dream. Yeah, this method does take a lot of paint. It makes interesting textured pockets of things. Okay, depending on how you want to do it, where you want to go with it. And you can layer this. Use this technique to layer your patterns. Layering on patterns like this is really simple. You can really have a lot of fun with it, because once this dries texture, all you gotta do is just roll across it wherever you want to. Wherever you want it to meet or to gather, you do it that way. All right. Okay. We'll let that harden up for a little bit. If I want something a little more bold, I'll just make it a little more solid and bring it up in front. Hey Maria, how are you? Okay, while it's doing all of that, let's work on this guy on the bottom. Why not? I'll probably, because he's up front, I'll add a little touch of, I'll gather up some of this gray right here. I'll put the blue in this gray color, like this. I'll just stir it around real quick. All right. All right. Same technique, different color. And we'll kind of place line here. Now, once again, it's just a tapping. And as I'm tapping, it doesn't look like I'm tapping, but I am. And I just drag it around. This is wet on dry. There's no glycerin, there's no medium. It's just the paint. There's no glycerin in the paint, it's just regular paint. Once again, I am dragging and tapping. You see the texture down there. It's the same texture here. You guys, yeah, the light hits it, you guys should be able to see that. So yeah, there. You guys will be able to see that. See that? That's the texture there. It's fun to do them. You create your own little world, your own little texture spot, your own way of doing these guys. Let's take the, I don't think I need this. Get rid of that. What I don't need, I just get rid of. Some of it's getting a little solidified, so scrape it off till it go bye-bye. I'll get the rest of this, what I can here. I'll just put it right here. For the next step, I don't need too much, so I'll just scrape off the rest, no big deal. I'll mix white in it, brighten it up a little bit. That should be enough. Somewhat. Get some in here now. Just lightly graze over where you want the light source to be, more or less. Guess I'll aim the light source a little toward the center. So we'll come here, we'll just add a few bits of love in there. If it's light enough, I don't know. We'll do that again. It'll work somewhat. Basically, you're just rubbing this paint over the texture that's already been established, really. You gather your own, make your own light source, as you can see. The paint dries very quickly. Acrylic paint dries very quickly. And so you can really do this at a record amount of time once you get accustomed to doing it. Because I have the light source kind of hit in the middle here. I thought I had enough of this stuff. I don't think I will. Thought I would, but I don't. But that's okay. Just make some more. Yeah. Yellow ochre, white, slight touch of black. And a small pinch of that blue stuff. Mix it in there. A little more white. Put it right in there. We'll see what this does. If I like this better, I'll probably go with this. And guess what? I do like it better. Once again, it's kind of giving you the highlights off of the texture you've previously put on. But like I say, it's more, highlights are more centered on this batch. And I like the way it looks, so we'll just continue that look all in here. I just like the way I like the color mix with it. Okie dokie. I think I want to add a little more love around in here. I'll make him come out a little more. Make him a little solid. Okie dokie. Enough of that. Let's put some trees or whatever in here. Okay. No, before I do that, let's whiten up the falls. Let's do that. Titanium white, we'll put it right here. Actually, let's do something else. I'll do an extra step. We'll just make that gray. Just white and black. Just like that. Let's gather a little bit more. We'll make it gray first. Side of the brush. And here we go. We'll just kind of get some of that mist going there. Then we'll kind of gray in some things here. I'm not getting rid of that blue. I'm not going to get rid of all that green. All right. Side of the brush is all I need. You'd be surprised how much paint you would need for this. Once again, the side of the brush. Up in the corners. Get that fella on the far left or right. Right in here. Get them pretty dark in there like that. When I say dark, I'm not meaning, you know, pitch black or anything. You're just building it up more and more. All right. Titanium white. We'll just put the titanium white out here. There's a few ways you can do this. Now, what I'm going to do, much like I do with the flowers sometimes, well, let's just kind of go from here, side of the brush, and get that mist going there for the outside edge there. Have a kick out there like that. Okay, now the rest I can just take my brush and push and just kind of scumble. So we're making our direct white foamy things happening here. No glycerin here, a lot of dry brush. you're following the pattern of where the heaviest part of that water is just rushing down. And so it naturally creates movement, as you see. And wherever I want the strongest movement, that's where the brightest white will be. You follow me? All right. And I kind of want the white to be kind of accented, not on the edges of the falls, but more toward the middle. Pretty much where you see me aiming right now. So it's not toward this side, not toward, it's kind of hitting the middle there. All right. These here, I'll just do a series of straight lines like this, or tappy lines like that. All right. Now that texture, you just continue it on. I'm gonna just continue it on in spots. Leaning toward the middle here. Gets a little heavier here. And it's just me with the edge of the brush going tap, 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 tap. But I'm just pushing as I'm doing it. And it gets a little misty down in here. You can kind of bring a little bit of that love on each side here, if you would like. But a lot of action is pretty much here in the center. Just in the center here. And I'll make the heaviest portion in the middle. In the center. Have that stuff fall right on over. Have it kick outward. Once again, you got a nice little curve here. Kind of build this stuff up. Tip of the brush. Now the curve goes behind that rock. Straight down, straight down. All that turbulence, all that yummy stuff is coming down here. All in there. Kick that stuff, kick some of that foam out there. Once again, I'll aim it, keep it kind of toward the middle here a little bit. I missed that up a little. Down in here, it gets a little heavy, of course. Okay, just like I won't have to add any more to that. You guys talking to me here? I see you went back to working on your barns, Maria. I see you. I see you. Okay. You can work in some of that frothy stuff in here. I'm going to take a little bit of blue. I'm going to go into this white that I've already put down here. It needs to be a little darker. That's pretty much the color I got in there already. And we'll just kind of churn in some darkness in there, here and there. You're gonna need some of this darkness, some of that foam to kind of scumble around all up in here. This is still dry, wet on dry, what I'm saying. Focusing on what I'm doing. This technique is still called wet on dry. I'm just scumbling some of this darkness on here. When I say wet on dry, obviously the paint's wet, but the board is dry. Okay, and it's dry. I'm just getting a little ultramarine blue, a little titanium white, mix it in there. Some of that love all up in there. Just gonna let it in there. Some of that blue in there. Especially behind the rock here. Get up in there like that. Oh really? You're really venturing out there, spray paint, huh? Always good to experiment, try out things. Oh, that's always a good thing. Okay, let's get some foam going. Right on top of that blue. And I'm gonna do a dry brush style. I'll just kind of brush it on here. So essentially, make pretend you're painting clouds in the water. How's that for an analogy? Paint clouds in the water. The cloud's got a high top like that, and then you just blend it in on the bottom. Blend it on the bottom, and just keep going, keep repeating. Put another one here like that, and you just blend out the bottom. Blend the bottom out. I'm just using straight titanium white. So you're just making clouds and blending them without the glycerin. I'll put some here, wipe some paint off the brush, and then I come back here and I'll fade that out in there like that. Get some more, make some more clouds. If you want to think of it that way, make some clouds. It's just making clouds on the bottom of the water. Let's make some clouds. I think that analogy could help some people. Let's go to this one over here. Make some more clouds up here. Make it the shape of a cloud, just like that. I got more paint, so I'll just kind of make some clouds over here. And as the paint wears away, you just fade it. Fade it down on the bottom, fade it. It's getting more titanium white. I'm not using as much titanium white as you think. Come up here, put some of that mist up in there like this. Don't be afraid to paint over your falls. You know, a great chunk of Niagara Falls is covered in mist. It's just those rare times you'll see the whole falls. The weather conditions got to be right. You'll see all of the falls. Most times it's covered in mist. It's those rare times on Niagara is that you see all those postcards and covers of magazines. It doesn't look like that all the time. I know. I used to live out there. That bad boy's usually shrouded. Don't try to see it early in the morning. Shrouded. They don't tell you that on the fine print. But once you do see it, it's very nice. Now, with a painting that's obviously this bright because of all that orange and yellow and stuff, you know, you're gonna need a good surrounding of dark to really emphasize this. Right now it's overpowered by the brightness here and here. Okay, even if the mid-tone is bright because there's nothing really deep and dark large enough to balance it out as of yet. Okay. Get a nice rim of white right in there. Just make it look like waves. All of that. I'm thinking about something. Hold on. My mind goes away from me sometime. All right. A little touch of water. I'll go into the white. Cats are such stealthy creatures. Usually I would use a fan brush for this. What I'm doing now is called laziness. Okay, let's get some foam up in here. I'm using a little bit of water with the titanium white, which will give me a chalky kind of a thing happening. You know, kind of do little wavy things in here. I'll give it a little push. See, that little push gives me the appearance of some cute little caps and stuff going. You just make them uneven. Okay. Let's put some caps here. I just take it, push down a little bit, just like that, and then I'll blend this out. Put some caps in here a little bit there. Kind of blend it out there. See all that unevenness with that dark underneath. Very simple process. I can kind of continue it on there and kind of fade that out there. And just fade it out from the back. You got a lot of turbines, you got a lot of stuff going on out here. A little more titanium white. A little touch of water. Loosen up that white. Titanium white mixed with water gives it a really chalky type of feel to it. And so just be careful. I'll come out here, add a little bit of love right here in this corner. Okay. Come out here. Okay. Oh, add a couple little things in there. Right up in here, like so. A lot of churning going on over there. So add a lot more water. I'll just continue to use this brush. What the heck? Watered down white paint. I should use a script liner, but I'm not going to. All this stuff you see in here, we can kind of play around with little curves. It's really kind of, and I'm doing this around a lot of the dark area, and I'm not keeping the paint level or even. It's horizontal, all right, but not necessarily a straight line. Put it that way. Let's go down here. I'm looking at the patches of dark, and I'm actually doing the lines on top, or right on top of the darker lines. And you'll see the tones, like when you're close enough to it, you'll see them. Right here, I come here like that. See, it's not exactly, the lines aren't even, not supposed to be. See that? And you make them longer, shorter, just like that. I can take one and just push, and create a wave in there. Push downward. Or you can add one of these, make the little trails there if you want, you know, up to you. Make them curved though. Make them curved. If you want to add stuff like that. I'll soften it. I kind of don't want it. But that's a nice example of it. Yeah, I'll just continue the lines there. Because we got enough stuff going on in there. Okay. While they got some of this white, I'll take a little bit of yellow ochre. I'll just kind of put it in there like this. Get a little bit of blue. Kind of mix it in there like that. Freaking cat. She's getting into something, and she knows I can't stop her. Hopefully this is light enough. I'm just adding a little bit of love down in here on this rock. Not light enough. You would be surprised how much titanium white you would need to shift the color. But you can see the color shift right there. That's the original. That's the new one. Side of the brush. Add a little love in there like this. Side of the brush. Just like that. When you see techniques being done, and if you want to try them out yourself, you're a little apprehensive. It doesn't come out like this. You got to give it time. You got to practice. And I'm speaking the technique to you as I'm doing it. All right, you know, side of the brush. All those interesting little shapes and patterns that you see coming out there. It's actually the brush doing it. You're just a foreman telling it where to go. All right. Okay. I can break up some of this by putting some evergreens in here and just have it disappear a little bit, or I can just have them here, and what it do is it'll bring another plane to it. So let's say if I did have the evergreens, even if I had the evergreens start here and just get larger and larger up here, I can do that. Have that darkness kind of swoop down this way. Remember, we're gonna have leaves and stuff all in here and that will even it out and bring this further back. You follow me? Okay. So that, I think I'll do that. I think I'll do that. Let's bring out the palette knife. Let's bring out some, I gotta be careful. Let's bring out some blue. Let's put the blue right here. I got black in the blue. Okay. I'll use the bright yellow. It's gonna give me a very unique blackish green look to it. I should hopefully have enough for what I'm going to do. I don't think so. I might need a bigger batch. I think I'm going to need a bigger batch. Nobody's talking to me here. I feel so dejected. I like to use the palette knife to mix with because it's a faster mix. Now I got enough. I'm checking out something here. Let's pull it out for a second. Checking out something. I guess I could use it. Yeah, why not? I don't particularly want this one, but I'll do it. Sorry. All right, I'm going into a basically it's a wood trim brush. Dipping my brush into this mix. I'll get the slightest bit of water just to loosen it up a little tiny little bit. And you see I'm tapping it in there. It should be okay. All right, so I want interesting patterns of foliage coming through. Okay. Oh, all right, shade. So really, I want interesting pockets of green on the edge here. More water. I need it a little looser. It's not turning into craft paint or anything like that. But I want very interesting looking. There we go, something like that. Little crop bunches like this. Yep, it's going over them falls, past the falls a little bit, go on past there. I am really looking for very interesting edges here. Like that. They're going to get more and more solid as you go inside, but I'm not concentrating on the inside. I want very nice, interesting little pockets of love this way. Come on, out there with it. Bring it out there. See that? Put it out there. It's not going in front of the rock, it's in back of the rock. So let's be careful here. It does get more solid toward the edge here. In here. Now, even though it gets more solid, I'm going to get rid of the white, but I'm not going to, paint it like, no, don't do that. Continue with the texture, continue with the same. Thank you, J. Marie. How are you? It's been a little while. Continue with the tapping, okay? I'm gonna get a little water. Now be careful when you add the water because it tends to thin it out a little bit. Be careful. But right around in here, if I want to keep anything solid, it'd be around this rock here. I can always re-highlight the rock. I'll just kind of darken the rest of this. Now, I have a very limited palette, so I know what colors to mix to achieve the look of green that I have, because this is a blackish green here. I'll get a smaller brush for the rest of these. And what I did essentially is just get blue, popped it in there. Got black, popped the blue and black in there. And I went with a little bit of yellow ochre. Oh, I think I used a brighter yellow actually. And put it back in there like that. And mix it right in there. Real quick, fast, in a hurry like. And then I'll just come back here, I'll make these solid right in here. It's all right. Right around that rock. Now, if you notice, since I've added the darker color of the green black mix in this, okay, especially around the area of the rock here, like that. All right, I'll use some of this mixed up in here like that. Now I'm gonna do the first bits of highlights. Then I'm gonna add the tree trunks. There'll be a number of them in there, and then we're gonna go over the tree trunks with that. So it looks like a batch of trees in here. Very simple techniques to do. Once again, even though we established the tree pattern, it looks like one tree. It's gonna be many of them, but you've established pretty much the ground color and the shape there. Okay, everything else gets a little bit lighter after this. Okay. I'm just thinking here, because there's something that I would like to do. So let's cut this in half, and we'll put that little bit over here. All right. Okay. Let's add a little bit of titanium white. It's going to turn it kind of gray. I gotta be kind of careful. And a little bit of yellow. We'll bring some of that green back into the gray. Just like that. There. Might as well. Why not? We're going to get some water. Put the water on the brush. Go into this and you're going to water it down without splashing it over yourself. Water it down just like this. All right. Very loose. Be very careful. I should have a brush that splays out a little more than this. So even though I got it watered down, I don't like, yeah, that's why I don't like this brush. It's not really full enough. I should be able to do it now if I dry it off. Let's see. Because the brush has got to be pretty full. I think I can get away with it if I just do the tips. Yeah, I should be able to get away with it. It should be enough here to do this. And then we'll just come here and we'll add our little bit of highlight thingies in it. Like I said, I should be able to get away with some of this. Interesting little groupings of the bright and green. Actually, it's not bright enough, believe it or not. I need more white, but I don't really want to do all that white, so I'll work with this as best as I can. I'll just double load it or whatever. But I'll show you here where it's a little dark. You get interesting patches of green going in there, light green. I'm gonna need more white. I'm up here playing. It's gotta be brighter. And I need more water. So it's a gentle dance doing this stuff. But get your little interesting pockets of green in there. I don't want to really go right to the edge with it because the sunlight isn't really going over in that area. It's more towards the middle, even here. You guys will see as I do this. Remember, a lot of this is going to be covered with tree trunks. You'll see. Right now there's no real sense of scale to this. It's just, it looks like one giant Christmas tree right now. Okay, we'll keep it like that for right now. Hey, what's going on, Jen Wild About Art? Welcome. For those of you who don't know who that is, she has a very nice channel on Twitch. She's a Twitchaholic. She lives in Australia, so either it's extremely late at night right now for her, like 4 in the morning or something like that, or it's extremely early, but I think it's extremely like that weird in-between time. Well, thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. But yes, she lives in Australia. Okay, let's add some bark in here. Now remember, I separated this here. I separated it because if I add white to it, it will turn kind of a weird gray like that. But look, we're gonna kind of, oh, I don't got enough orange. Fine, we'll use the yellow. Yeah, we use a little yellow ochre in there instead. Just like that. Now I'll use a little bit of what's left of white. It'll gray it out a little. Need more white. Okay. I need more white. One of the disadvantages of having a large fan blow on you is blowing across the paint too, so it develops the skin and it starts to dry. But you know what? You work with what's handed to you a little bit. It's all good. It's all right. There we go. And you see you got another facet of gray here. Okay. All right. A little bit of water. Loosen it up a bit. Okay. Let's start one right here. I kind of want a thick one and have him disappear in there like that. Something like that. And we get some thinner ones in there like this. And you know, you kind of curl them up, put them at different heights, put one way up here, just like that. You got to add the sound effects. If you don't, it doesn't work. Don't have to necessarily be on the bottom. Put them in there, put them in there. Okay. Now remember, I'm working wet on dry, so I'm rubbing paint on pure texture. This is 16 by 20 canvas board, not watercolor paper today. It's canvas board today. All right, something like that. I can add cutesy little textures to those. I'll just take a little black and we'll kind of bounce around some tree textures a little bit, just some lines here and there. They're not gonna, you know, you'll see them somewhat. I'll just pop them in there on the side a little. Nothing really super detailed or anything like that. It kind of blends in with that greenish black a little. Something like that, all right? That make you happy? All right. Okay. Let's put this brush away 1 second. I guess I'll deal with I'll use a baby fan brush, this little guy right here. All right, let's look down here. Let's go with black. Put the black right there. Go with some of this yellow. Put it in there like that. All right. Let's see if I can grab some more yellow in here. There we go. Get in there. Stop playing. Get rid of the booger. Add the rest. There we go. See how that makes that nice deep green there? Okay. All right. Small tinge of white. Be careful with the white, because this type of green will tend to turn gray on you because of the black. So be careful. It's like a little dance. All right. Something like that. Okay. All right. Loosen up this paint. Get it real watery like. Get a little more white. Put the white down here, so you get a nice gradation of what you have. And white is a tint. A tint lightens your color, as you see down below. Adding black deepens the color. All right. As you see with the previous example that I did already. All right, a thinner paint. A thin paint sticks to a thick paint. I got a little thick paint in here, so the bristles aren't spread. To get rid of it, start off fresh. You got enough. All right, just with the tip. I'm not using the side, just the tip of the brush. And we start with the corner. Hopefully this is light enough. We'll find out in a second. Yeah, it's light enough, and we'll just kind of put little interesting pockets of dark or light in the dark. Interesting little groupings like this. Make them a little rounded if you can. Yes, I'm going this is too watery. Let's get a little thickness in there. I'm still working with just the tip. Just thicken it up a little bit so I can cover. Just like that. I don't want to cover. See, I like the outer edges. Keep the outer edges in there. I don't have to have this super glaringly bright. All right, but you see what's going on here. You see that? All right. I'm using just the tip of the brush. Just the tip. Interesting little shapes. Don't be bashful. Put it in there. Come on around the tree. Maybe you cover this tree. Come on in here a little bit. Tip of the brush only. I'll come in here. I don't want to get rid of all that orange coming through the leaves, so I'll be very subjective to where I'm putting this stuff. I'll get up and adjust the focus. When I do paintings like this, sometimes the focus, it changes a little bit. So I'll get up and I'll touch the focus and we'll bring some of that back. It just takes practice. You'll see it as you do them. You will see them, okay? As you can see, I have like 0 yellow. It's probably frosted over. It's okay. Let's go into what's left of this yellow ochre. Let's put it right here. Let's get a slight touch of blue in the yellow ochre. We'll kind of green it up a little bit. A little pinch of white in there. Maybe a stronger pinch of white. A little more blue, believe it or not. Okay, that should be all right. A little touch of water, loosen it up a bit. Actually, it has to be brighter than that, more white. The brighter the highlight, the less of it you need. Just be very careful. You don't want it to look like snow. I'll add a little pinch of blue in it though. Green it back up a little bit. This should be more than enough. I'm gonna use the corner of the brush even though I got it slathered with paint. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put the highlights in the middle. Remember, they're not on the left or the right. The sunlight's coming toward the middle. If you look at the clouds, see the clouds? All right, that's why I got some of the shine is more or less in the middle. See, the shine is in the middle, or it's a little more toward this side. Well, the tree's here, but it's a little more toward that side. So since you can barely see them, we're gonna establish the light source right here. Right in the middle, this guy. Just like that. Okay. And you can go a little to the right, a little to the left. Keep those I'm flipping the brush around. I got more paint there. You just keep it very interesting. Like that. Okay. Come on around in here. I'm tempted to dip more water to it, but I don't have to. See, the water keeps the paint loose enough so you get those interesting little shapes, but keep them in interesting little groupings and pockets. Okay. I can probably, no, I don't want to do that. I'll keep that. I don't want to do that. I'll keep it all in the center here, just like that. Oh, I I guess I can make one. I'll put a couple right here, close to the rock there, like that. Okay. All right. Something like so. All right. Now remember, I told you about the because it's still bright. Okay. I can even it up because this area is a little too open. I can close it up with evergreens here. Doing that brings this forward, brings the evergreens being back there, brings this up forward, so it creates more depth. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think I'm going to do it. I feel it in my little bones. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, we'll scrape up some of this stuff. It's already dry, at least the majority of it is. And this is just really the result of the fan blowing on it. Actually, I can get some of that up too because it's dry. You just scrape it right off. This is a glass palette. And as you can see, it just comes right off. I can get rid of you too because you're dry. It's all right. And since I'm already on here babbling, I don't know if I got enough black for it to make a difference on anything. It might be. I don't think I got enough blue though. I think the blue kind of is history. The black's history too. Get rid of it. All right. So we're getting rid of everything here. It's all right. Okay. Show you something while I'm doing this. I guess every moment's a teachable moment, right? Now let's get a little rubbing alcohol. After you use rubbing alcohol, your palette smells like a hospital room, but keep the rubbing alcohol on there for a few, and everything liquefies just like this. Okay, it comes right off. Look at that. Okay. Quicker than water, right? It comes off. There you go. Look at that. Of course, it smells like Dr. Marcus Welby been here. Look at that. Haha. You gotta love it. There we go. Rubbing alcohol evaporates like that, so I got the fan blowing on it and everything, so we're all good. All right, throw that in the trash. Okay, let's mix. Hold on one second. Hey there, boss. Good evening. Yeah, we had a nice little storm. There might be another one. You know what I can't stand about text, speech to text? With my phone, it doesn't come automatically. On the iPhone, it just happens like that. On this piece of crap, you gotta go through extra changes. It's like it's doing a double. It's crap. And of course, Never mind. Hey, what's going on, boss? Yeah, we did have a thunderstorm. Looks like we're due for another one too, but I'm doing a live as I'm talking to you. I talk with a list, so. Okay, I think he should be able to decipher that. Okay, we're gonna start with the trees in here. I'm looking to the placement really. All right, let's, you know what, let's use a little phthalo blue because I want them pretty solid. So we're gonna go with a little phthalo blue. We'll put the phthalo blue right here. All right. I'm going with, I like this Artist Loft Black. When you guys see me stop talking and tilt my head, it's because of my dog. And he knows when it's time for him to go out. It's 9:39, so he's usually on a walk right now. But that's why I hear him stirring around back there. Okay, we got phthalo blue, cad yellow, and black. That should be enough, more or less. Once again, we'll take a large flat or medium flat brush here. Every once in a while I have to touch my text. See if you guys are saying anything, and you're not. We'll deal with a little bit of blue first. We'll put the blue, we'll put it somewhere closer to me here. We'll put the blue here. We're gonna get a little bit of yellow. It's gonna turn a nice bright green, just like that. And we're gonna deepen that a little bit with a touch of black. Just like that. I'm not going to put any medium or water in this. Right now, I'm going to just put this where I want the trees, the base of the trees to be. Where I want the base of the trees to be, it has to be kind of solid. Right by the waterfall and everything. It does not have to be even on the waterfall where it's not really that even. So I'm just reshaping the waterfall as I'm putting the groundwork for the trees. Just like that. I'm gonna go up a little higher here. Cause they start off low and they get higher and higher and higher. But basically what you see me doing is really getting rid of that orange in here. Yeah, these guys are gonna get higher and taller and taller. So once again, this is just groundwork for the bottom, for the base. And yes, it's a greenish black. Oh, we can rough that up a little bit. It's rocks. There we go. And we can rough up these falls a little bit. I don't want no orange glow. Let's strengthen that a little bit up here. Really pop it up there, yeah, like that. Okay. All right, that seems about right. Up there like that. Okay. That's the ticket. All right. Now I will gather up a larger batch of that. nice chunk of blue, put it right in there. Get some black, slap that black in there. Get some yellow, put it in there. Gonna mix all this love right up. I'm liking that green, but I have a feeling it's not dark enough. I think it's too light. So I think it's a little too light. I gotta add just a touch of black to it. Even in this, I'm adding, this is our base color. We'll do some really coy shading or highlighting with the forest here. That should be all right. I really don't want to use this. I need something like this, but that's because it's got a split through the middle, so it's got a gap like that. Can you guys see that there? See that? See there? See that? That's what I don't want. I'm trying to see if I have a brush somewhere like this size, but it's just packed full of. I don't think I do. So I might have to go the other route. I'll use this guy. No, there's no skipping in this one. Oh, see that? Full all the way through. But I'm gonna have to manipulate a little bit, but I'll stick with this. All right, we're gonna kind of go in there like this. Put it right in there. Usually I would need a ton of paint for this. Okay. Anyway, stop complaining. All right. Yes, I want them fairly tall. I'll just kind of sketch out where I kind of want things to. Well, let's just do it from here. Actually, no. I got to loosen up the paint a little bit. It's just the nature of this type of brush. So I just got to be careful. And we're going to get some interesting looking pines. Just like this. And they're gonna be all, it's like just a batch of big pines. This guy can be a little taller. This just kind of stop playing. Just put him in there. Stop playing. Put it right in there. Don't even know why. I'm up here playing with it like that. Put it right up in there like that. And I'm using, if it makes sense, the corner of the brush, believe it or not. I'm going into my blue, going into my black, going into my yellow. Just like that. This brush takes an incredible amount of paint, a light touch of water. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It takes a lot of paint for this. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yes, if you guys got Twitch, check out Jen. And she is wild about art. If they do get smaller, you still want the intensity in there. Okay. And these trees are bunched together pretty good. Also. Now, as they get smaller, I might use a different brush. We'll see. If I just narrow it down real good, I can get away with it. Yeah. I might be able to get away with it. Or maybe I'll give it a slight push. I can do the small ones. Let's go. Put some of these back up in here. Bring some of that deep dark in there like that. I'm so tempted to continue that on the other side. So tempted. I am so tempted to do that. But I will not. I'm tempted, but I won't. I won't do that. All right, let's get a little bit of titanium white. We're gonna mix that in with yellow. I don't have to use this giant brush anymore. So we're nearing the end of this almost. Kind of, sort of. Let's clean this brush out real good. We'll use the flat version of the same. Let's get a little bit of titanium white. We'll kind of put it right in here like this. Get a little bit of yellow. Pop the yellow in there, just like that. Okay. And we'll tease some cute little highlights in there. Watch this. Look at this. Pop a couple in there, just like that. Turn it around a little bit. Look at that. Isn't that cool? You guys can do the same exact thing. Yes, you can. I don't want to hear no excuses. You can do this. I don't want to hear it. Pop some bushes in there like that. A little push. Pop some bushes in. The bushes actually bring that back a little bit. So interesting little groupings of bushes. Pop them in there. All right. Pop them in there. Gather my bushes there. Sweet. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I'm still looking at this. I'm still looking. I'm still looking. It's almost like a little lagoon in here. I'm still looking. I'll clean this off. I don't need this anymore. I'll change the camera so you guys can actually look at it in like real size, because it's kind of mushed. Okay, that's because of that guy and, well, this corner here. All right. Okay. Let's take a flat brush, any flat brush will do. Let's take a little bit of glycerin. I'll put the glycerin right here. I'm taking a little touch of blue, putting it into the glycerin. I'm taking a little bit of black. I'm gonna put it into the, oh, that's too much black. Too much, well, no, not really. Not really. I take that back, not really. Pretty cool shadow color. We're gonna take this shadow color with the glycerin, and we're just gonna kind of put some of those trees in the back there like that. We're gonna just darken up a few things there. Come here. I'm just creating some shadows, interesting little shadows in there. So see, make it subdue it a little bit, even some of that bright stuff. So it's a bluish, greenish kind of thing happening there. And I'm just kind of subdue a few things. If some of it's a little too bright, you can kind of tone it down a bit. See? Add a little more depth to your little trees. Like that. I can take the same color and I can kind of tone those rocks down a little bit down in there, add some shadow in there. See that? See? Just tones it down a little bit. See? Look at that. See? All sorts of little cheats you can do. Up to you. Really up to you. Let's get a little more glycerin. We'll play around in this area right here. All right. Yeah, we can darken up some of this too. Especially down here toward the bottom, you can kind of deepen it a little bit. And basically, it just brings it down a little. See, I get rid of some of that brightness. Subdue some of that a little bit. Okay, just darken it a little, just a little bit. Yeah, I can kind of chill him out a little bit there. Put him in a shadow. A little bit of this guy. Put him in the shadows in there a little bit. See this? Just like that. Just kind of kill some of that. Bring it down a bit. If I want to accent some more shadows or make a stronger shadow side, you just kind of come in here, just deepen that up. It brings out that middle tone in the rock, or the highlights in the middle of the rock. Okay. I call it a cheat, but you know, it all helps. Actually, I can come here in this waterfall and add a little love in there too. Just like that. Add a little bit of that in there. Come back, gather some more. See, glycerin makes your paint transparent. So this is all glazing. It's the glazing technique. Okay. Kind of emphasizes where you want your shadows. Now, you can really have a lot of fun with this and do all sorts of crazy things. It's all a matter of how much time do you want to put into your art. Even though this video is probably a couple hours long, you can do much more with it. All depends on what you're looking for. You know, really up to you. Really up to you. On this painting, I never really went crazy with like mist or anything like that, even though I can. I think I'll use water instead of glycerin for the mist. Now, titanium white with a lot of water is gonna, the way they make titanium white, it leaves a residue, and that's what's gonna help you make your mist. All right. Yeah. I really don't want to go too crazy with it, so. And it's a careful ratio of white and paint and water. So it just depends on how bright you want it, how strong you want that mist. All right. If you put it in there real coy, you know, you can really get away with some little sneaky, really cool mist effects. I'm just adding a little more titanium white, just a few hairs of paint on the brush. Still mixing in with the water. Okay, so it really depends on how bright you want it. You know? And you do it in layers. If the first layer is kind of soft, you can always kind of bump it up a little bit. Be mindful of the brightness and shading, the fading of it. Okay, but you can see a little bit of it in there. All right. You know, you see, you know, if, like I say, if you want it a little heavier, just be gentle with it. Be gentle. Still keep it on the watery side so you can blend it gradually. Don't try to do it all in one take. That's where you mess up. Just real gradual. Okay. I mean, obviously it's more effective when it's dark like that. Sure. But it's getting that gentle balance of this in front of the waterfall. Now I'm just taking pure titanium white right now, and I'll just kind of, because you got to try to make it seen a little bit, just like that, and then I'll kind of, that's about all I need really in front of that. And the only reason why I'm using the pure titanium white is one, it covers depth, it covers everything. And plus, you know, you want to give a little dimensionality to your waterfall, so you kind of scumble some of that real bright stuff right in front of the falls. But it gets lighter again as you go toward the sides. As you can see. All right. If you want to be cute, and most people do, you come on out here, you can kind of give it a little press. Gentle press, and add some of that little misty in here. You can travel a little bit. Be very, 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 very careful. Just a little bit. Kind of come up. Don't worry, Bluto. I hear you out there. I know you got to go outside. I know. I'll take you out. Come here. I'll put a nice little trail of it coming this way, straight line. The key to it also is not only the intensity, but the edges. Don't keep an, you don't do a hard edge with mist. Okay. Just rub it, fade it out a little bit. Okay. And it's just me dry brushing and your hand pressure. And you're just creating all sorts of depth and perspective in your painting when you do stuff like that. All right, I think I'll leave it alone. All right, let's get rid of the pallet. Actually, I can just shut it off. There you go. All right. All right. Actually, I can get rid of me. All right. You should be able to. We should be able to take this tape off after I put my name on this thing. Appreciate you guys stopping through. Really do. There we go. All right, let's see what it looks like without the tape. Shut this light off, I guess. There. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can see if I get the shadow out the way. I had a secondary light because my head shadow, as you can see, would overpower it. But we're done, and I'll move out the way. I'll scoot out the way here. This is my preference to add tape on the borders. It's just how I like to do it. I have no nails. Don't judge me. Alright, well, there we go. All that for a triple waterfall. Got some mist going on and all sorts of happenings. I think I told you I would do something with the focus on this thing. I forgot. Do it now, though. Okay, try to get out of you guys' way, but this is it, and as you know, I'll take a photo of this thing and post it later on this evening. Appreciate it, Maria. Thank you very much. There you guys are. Okay. I do appreciate it. Well, guys, this is it. I'll see you when I see you. Let me take this animal out. He drives me crazy because he's eyeing me right now. I know the fan is blowing. You probably can barely hear me, but yeah. All right, guys. Take care.